What's up, guys? It's Cooper Webb, and you're listening to the MotoXpod Show.
Hey, this is the Bud Man. You're listening to the MotoXpod Show.
Welcome to the MotoXpod Show, starring Darkside, his co-host Scotty, sometimes TJ.
And we are back. If you guys are on YouTube right now, you may have seen us try to start the show with probably no audio since we didn't turn the switch on. But, hey, we're back. Episode 221 tonight, brought to you by our title sponsor, as always, Acerbis USA. For decades, Acerbis USA has been the leader in moto plastic and accessories with products that fit perfect, look great, and last. Acerbis has what you need. Whether it's full plastic kits, individual pieces, hand guards, chain guides, and sliders, or anything else they offer, visit AcerbisUSA.com and support our title sponsor. Follow them on Instagram and let them know you're listening. Of course, Racetech is also on board with us. We've got the Racetech Privateer Spotlight tonight. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed and made right here in the USA. Racetech also offers state-of-the-art precision engine services and parts to all engine builders. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MotoXpod to save. Fly Racing's on board with us as always. X-Brand Goggles, the best goggles on the planet. You can hit me up, DarksideMX3 at AOL.com, or go to your local dealer and ask for X-Brand. Distributed through WPS. Works Connection on board with us. Torque One Racing. Our Jerky. Promo code MotoXpod21 to save there. I ate a bunch of that during the game this weekend. We may get into that. That was a little bit of a heartbreak for me Sunday night.
I don't want to hear it.
Bermlord's Graphics and Jersey ID for your graphics needs or your jersey printing. Shock Socks, Williams Moto Works, Extreme Colors Helmet Painting, Blood Lubricant Oil Lines. Gave you some of that recently, Scotty.
I did an oil change this weekend, rode on it, and it was good to go.
Yeah, that stuff's great. You can run that. Seems like you can run it forever, and it always looks the same. Promo code MotoX at bloodlubricants.com. You got WP suspension and you're in the East Coast, you can hit up Power Band Racing. Let them know that we sent you. And True Fusion Sports, Derek Kelly's business, all on board. Again, this week, 221, we got a jam-packed show. Kevin Moranz is going to come on for the Racetech Privateer Spotlight. We're going to have Joseph Allen. You guys have been watching the races. Obviously, you've seen Joseph. He works with on Race Day Live. He does some of the floor hype, the announcing. I don't exactly know what his title is. The kid, well, I'm going to tell you about him, how I kind of first heard him and why I wanted to get him on. But he was also on America's Got Talent 2019. He's going to come on. Then Justin Starling is going to join us, part of Team Troy Dog. Julien Perrier, who owns Team PRMX, is going to come on. And amateur Brad West, he's an Aussie that Nick and Trent were bragging on while we were out there. As a matter of fact, we rode around in Brad's Sprinter van all week because he loaned it to the guys. And he raced his first Supercross Futures this last weekend at A2. So, yeah, that's the show. A lot of stuff to get into. Probably going to keep them to about 20 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
Going on basically, no sleep.
Yeah, I'm about to say, before we get started, I just want everybody to appreciate Darkside. This dude's dedicated.
That's right. You better appreciate me.
I think we were texting earlier, and I think you were. I said your dedication is inspiring, and I think you thought I was being sarcastic, but
No.
I was actually being pretty genuine, dude. Like you are dedicated to this, and you should get props. So everybody, shout out to Darkside for sticking to it.
Well,
I mean, you did go to Tool concerts. It's not like you were doing something
well,
like.
You did say that. And, I mean, this is on me, but yeah, I went to see Tool last night.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me knows I got to do the Pulp MX wrap-up show
Yeah.
on Wednesdays. So I listen live to Pulp Monday nights. That's the only way I usually have time to get it in. But the Tool concert ended right around midnight local time, which is when Pulp normally ends, but he went an hour even longer.
Yeah.
So in order to listen to the show by tomorrow night, I just didn't go to sleep because I
Yeah.
had to listen to 6 hours of Pulp MX
There's no way I would have made it. I'd have.
before I had to go to work at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I literally, which that's not even accurate because I got home at 1:30 in the morning
Yeah.
and then I had 6 hours of
Yep.
show to listen to it. I just went into work like later than I normally did.
Right.
Worked. Then I started pulling audio, then getting ready for the show. So yeah, that's just what I had to do. I couldn't miss another wrap-up show. I already missed A1.
Yeah.
And I mean, Steve pays me to do these shows, so
So,
it's not like he can. All right, just don't pay me this week. I'm already paid, so I got to get them in. So I had to knock that one out. I do want to say, man, you guys are watching on YouTube or not right now. It really is a big deal to us that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to learn. I'm an old dude. I don't really know how all this stuff works, how all these algorithms work. But we need you to subscribe to our channel. We need you to share it. We need you to like these videos. All that, I guess, it puts your channel, your videos higher up in the algorithm.
Yeah, we are gaining traction on that
Yeah.
because I was talking, Spencer. I was talking to him the other night. Hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks, and he said so. He's in his algorithm. He watched the show the last show we did, and he said he hadn't searched it. He hadn't really even been listening to Moto podcasts, but he said ours popped up in his what to watch thing.
Good.
So he's in there.
Well,
we're in there with the Joe Rogan and a lot of
I
the
don't know
other
about
ones.
that.
Well, he said that those are the ones that pop up usually on
Okay.
that thing. So somehow we're trickling into that
I got you.
algorithm for his. Well, at least for his, because he probably does have some moto searches and stuff. But
Well, I'm trying to add the hashtags, and you're starting to edit the videos, and we have to learn to put always like hashtag Supercross, hashtag dirt bikes in the description, in the title. Apparently, all that matters. So we're working on that. We just posted our second thumbnail that's a big deal, like on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. Let us know what you think. But the likes and the subscriptions, that's a big deal. I also want to bring up Patreon. We talk about it every so often. We got a new Patreon as of today. It looks like Billy Dukes. At least it popped up. I swear he was already one, but it said he was new. So we got a new subscriber there. I've been posting the audio for all the Racer X interviews I do.
Yeah.
Like I do those in audio form, like a podcast or an interview, and I just don't do anything with it because I use that. I transcribe it for my articles.
Right.
Well, I've been posting the full interviews, which are usually at 45 minutes to an hour on our Patreon just for those guys. They're kind of unedited. They're a little bit raw. They're all over the place, but it's cool information. I think the Patreon guys like it. So if you want to join our Patreon, $5 a month, $10 a month, hell, $100 a month, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We
Sure.
love that. But whatever you want to do to support the show, and we're trying to give you some stuff, and we do some giveaways on there and whatnot. So yeah, patreon.com.
And I did invest into a little microphone for my thing.
your
So
phone? Yeah.
So maybe we might start getting some extra little stuff to do. And
Yeah.
basically it's for this weekend to get interviews. I'm
Right,
pumped
Glendale,
about that.
yeah, it's coming up, a couple days. Let's see, a little more housekeeping. We got a winner for our Aaron Plessinger autographed toy. I don't know what camera's on right now.
Here you go.
But our winner through the email contest was Dylan. Man, I hope I say this right. Meisner. I will email you, but I need your shipping information. So I appreciate you guys. We had a bunch of entries for that. Let's see here. I'm looking at my notes. What we want to talk about. Dude, you play fantasy? I can't remember.
No, because I would, but like I said, I work Saturdays, so
Yeah,
like
that's stupid.
I'm making feeding myself and having a house over my head is retarded.
It's dumb. Well, it's dumb if you have to work on Saturdays. But yeah, I get it.
Anyway, so
no fantasy for
it
you.
doesn't work with my schedule to do it. So I would
You
if
don't
I
have to watch the race live to play fantasy.
No, I know, but it's when I'm getting ready to go to because I eat my lunch and do take a little nap and all that stuff before I go to work.
Yeah.
So that all starts at 1:30, 2 o'clock, right when
Man,
qualifying,
right in the middle.
right
Yeah,
when qualifying starts. So
Your job sucks.
I literally, if I did it, I would do it blind, and I don't. It might work,
Probably
but
better.
it might work, but also I don't know. It feels like it takes the fun out of it. So
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
Well, I had a rough week again. Had Marchbanks and Justin Starling who's coming on the show a little bit.
I really thought Marchbanks was going to make it in.
Yeah, who didn't?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
He's gonna be killer for
even
this
after
weekend,
he got put in the back, I really thought he was going to catch
he's
those
getting
guys.
there. He's going to be killer this weekend because he's going to have a bigger handicap. But yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about A2 here in a second. We got about 10 minutes before the first guest. I'm looking at everything. Also, if you guys download the show through iTunes, comments, that's another big thing. Like the show on iTunes and leave a review. That's pretty big, I guess. All stuff we're trying to figure out and learn. I'm trying to push some of this responsibility or whatever off on Scotty to help out, and TJ is going to start working on some stuff too. So when he's not here. He's going to start doing the thumbnails, I think, if he can figure it out. Anyway, none of that really is that big of a deal. A2, before we may talk about A2 at the end. Tool.
Okay.
Okay, I want to get into this. For those that like music, and my Facebook, which I don't do a lot on Facebook, but I posted last night, halfway through this concert, I put on there, if you're in a band, if you're currently a musician in a band, or you're thinking about starting a band, or you're thinking about going to a concert, and none of those three things are Tool, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Okay.
Greatest concert I have ever seen. I couldn't wrap my brain around it. It was like
when I went and saw Guns N' Roses, I watched half of it like our thumbnail, like just like mind blown. Like so, I know what you mean.
Okay, Axl doesn't sound good anymore though. The band
he did. I know that sounds crazy. This was when they first came back. It was the biggest concert that they had done, and they're not in this lifetime tour.
Slash and Duff first came back.
It was like 2015.
Right.
It was like their fourth or fifth show. That one night his voice was hot.
I love Guns.
Okay.
I mean, I love Iron Maiden. Like, I'm going to Iron Maiden in September.
That would be cool,
but
too.
I feel like even Iron Maiden should just quit.
Well, dude, they're huge in the rest of the world. Like, in India, like, they can sell out, like...
they're huge here. They'll sell out.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, they're big overseas.
But Tool, like, their production, their playing, Maynard's voice...
Okay, you're kind of doing a little. This is how I want you to. How do I want to ask this question? So obviously, Tool's like one of your favorite bands, and you're already in the mindset that this is the greatest concert you've ever been to. Unbiasedly, tell it what makes it so much superior than the other concerts.
I was working on.
I know that's
interrupted.
I know, but like now in that
is
context,
second to none. Like lights and lasers and all that, but the sound quality was amazing. Danny Carey might be the greatest drummer alive. Like the band is inhuman. I was texting with Lucas Myrtle, because he's a massive Tool fan. He went and saw him in San Diego and LA a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh my God, mind blown. Like, he's seen them a bunch of times. He goes, yeah, dude, like, they're aliens. It's just not comprehensible how they play.
Yeah.
And like, there was the monitors weren't on, the big screen. Like, the one thing I did learn is I'm going to have to splurge on tickets. One of the reasons I've never gone to see them is ticket prices for concerts in general are really expensive.
Yeah.
Lower level were like $650, floor were like $1,500 and up.
Jeez.
And I just can't do that. But like, I don't think I could go again and not do that, because it was really hard to see from the upper deck.
Well, they don't put it on the screen.
That's what I'm telling you. They didn't have the screens on. Like, you get what you pay for. Their backdrop was all like stuff going on, like all this. I think the guitar player does all their like he does these like, what do you call it, stop animation, like claymation type stuff.
Yeah.
He does all their stuff in the background. I'm pretty sure their guitar player does. Like, it's all on the screen. They had this netting up around the stage, almost like you would have before a concert where you can't see the stage, but you could see through it. So when the lights came on, the background projection was also shown on this netting. But it was musically, it was just, I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words, because it was so hard to comprehend how good it was.
So people are. I had this thought too, and people are saying, "Is your drummer better than Neil Peart?"
Yes, I mean, Neil Peart's great. Look, go on YouTube and just search Danny Carey, and you'll see hundreds of these videos. There's one in particular he just recently did, like last year, for their song Numa. It's a drum cam, and all these, lots of people, musicians and drum teachers and people who have like degrees in music are trying to break down what he's doing, the different tempos and the way he's playing. Like, I don't understand music, so I can't even explain it. But they're like, I don't know. Like, there's drum teachers going, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how he's doing what he's doing. I don't really understand it.
That's crazy. Because I know a little bit about music, and I know that a lot of like your really talented drummers, the really sophisticated bands they'll play on like it's called the playing on the backbeat.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff he does.
Yeah, but he sounds like he's kind of taken like that to another level.
So like a lot of drummers, I've heard drummers say that like they don't like Danny because he's sort of self-indulgent. He's so good and he does so much stuff that's so crazy, and he does it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I was listening to a Rogan, I think maybe it was Eddie Trunk or a Rogan podcast, and one of the guys from Tool was in there, and they were talking about the song Tempest. and he's playing these like some kind of rhythms, polyrhythms or something, where he's playing 4 separate rhythms, one with each hand, one with each foot. And the song Tempest is spelled with a 7 instead of a T.
Yeah.
And it's something to do with the timings, time signatures. And he's doing these different rhythms 7 times each and changing them out. And none of it's looped. It's all one take type stuff.
That's crazy.
And then we don't have a whole lot of time. The song Lateralis is based off the Fibonacci sequence. It's a mathematical equation that basically supposedly is seen in science and in creation, and it creates, when graphed, a perfect spiral.
Right.
And so the Fibonacci sequence is something like 0, 1, 3, 5,
I've heard of it.
Anyway, and the way they wrote this song is all these different parts of the song happen on those time signatures.
Yeah.
Like even at one point, Maynard, when he's singing, the consonants in his words are done in the Fibonacci sequence. So he mapped out the consonants of a word to be 1, 3. So when he's singing, it's like duh, 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 duh. Somehow I don't even I can't understand it because I just don't understand music. But it's like they're geniuses. And anyway, maybe we'll try to get into more of that at the end if we have time, if I don't fall asleep. And we'll try to talk about A2. But we got 5 minutes. So we're still on that subject a little bit. We'll stick on Tool for a minute. I don't know, were there more questions from YouTube?
So someone just kind of just agreeing with you. They said that that the pneumonia video is awesome. Pneuma. Okay, I spelled it. Okay, I didn't know if he spelled pneumonia wrong or.
Well, he probably, it looks like pneumonia.
Pneuma. Okay.
But the song's Pneuma.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unreal on YouTube. But I got a little bit of video. There was a real strict no camera policy, and I literally watched them escort people out.
Yeah.
But I was so high up. And I was sort of against the concrete wall of the steps that go down to the floor, or not the floor, but the ring around the stadium or whatever, the concourse.
Yeah.
I kind of leaned up against it, and I covered the screen with my hand so the people behind me weren't bothered by the light.
Yeah.
And I just randomly tried to record. Went back and watched some of it today, and I drifted up, so I'm getting the lights instead of the band.
It's hard to do something like that.
Well, yeah, if you're not looking, but. I don't know, dude. It blew my mind.
Did you go by yourself?
I did because, again, never been able to really afford tickets for Tool because there's so much. And when they went on sale, it was a time period when I was single, when Amber and I had separated, and I was like, I'm going.
Yeah.
I can only afford one ticket. I'm going. I don't give a crap. So I bought one ticket. Like I said, I will take out a loan the next tour if I have to get lower level. I want to see them where I can see them.
Yeah.
Because you really couldn't make out their faces or their reactions.
How many people was it? Is it packed out?
Yeah, it was sold out. I don't know what it holds with a concert, but it was sold out. Yeah, it sold out.
Wherever you couldn't see an empty seat?
No, I didn't see any empty seats.
That's crazy.
None. Other than the ones that were roped off because they were behind the stage basically.
Oh yeah.
So I am looking forward to Iron Maiden, but I just. People talk about those, a religious or a spiritual experience or something through music, and that's what that was. So anyway,
yeah, man, I'm glad. Sounds like it was worth it.
A lot of people don't care about any of this. We're about to get into moto stuff. I'm sorry,
but no, that's cool, man.
I love music. Tool is at the. I don't have a favorite band because there's 2 bands that are kind of. I've said this on here before. That are my top bands, and they're very different. Depends on my mood. Tool and the 80s band Great White, which is more of a bluesy rock band. And I've seen Great White many, many times. I've been up against a stage, and that was the best time I've ever had a concert because I love that band so much.
Yeah.
But Tool absolutely destroyed that.
Well, yeah.
I can't even put Great White in my top
they're not
2 bands anymore.
Yeah.
Because of how good Tool is live.
Yeah.
Now, previously, I would have said Eagles was my best concert, musically, emotionally, seeing those guys.
That's kind of funny. I don't see you as an Eagles guy.
The Eagles are great. They're great music. The one I went to was the history of the Eagles tour. So Glenn Fry and Don Henley came out to begin with because they started the band.
Right.
And they told stories about, we got together. We first played backup with Linda Ronstadt, and while we were on tour, we wrote this song. And the 2 guys played acoustic guitars and sang the song. And they would talk about the history, and then they'd be like, and then we met so-and-so, whichever the next band member was, and then he would come out and they would play songs, and emotionally that was the history of this band and everything they'd been through, and that was really awesome. But Tool destroyed it. There is nothing else but Tool I can't, I wish I could put into words. It's 6:59. We need to get Kevin Moranz on.
Yeah,
It's really good.
That's crazy.
We got to get Kevin.
Okay.
If my phone will work.
Oh,
Kevin, what up, dude?
yo, how's it going?
It's going good, man. So I got my co-host Scotty in studio with me.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going.
We're live on YouTube, so I'm going to do an introduction and we'll roll.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right, here we go. All right, first up tonight for our Racetech Privateer Spotlight, brought to you by Racetech, obviously, world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MotoXpod to save. Tonight, Racetech brings us Privateer Kevin Moranz. What is up, dude?
How's it going? Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, man, you reached out to me and like that. I feel like big time now, man. We have big time riders reaching out to us. You know, it's been a little while since we've talked to you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, the biggest thing for me is just getting on any kind of platform I can to kind of speak about my program and what I got going on. So I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so you were doing a Hoosier Arena Cross for a little bit, and you know now you're doing some Supercross stuff. Just talk about what's been going on in 22 and what your program is.
Yeah, so more or less just started out the Hoosier Arena Cross stuff before the new year, just kind of getting in to the flow of racing, gate drops, intensity, more or less.
Yeah.
So the Hoosier Arena Cross is a great way to start. And then obviously into Supercross, deciding to go 450 this year instead of the 250 to 450 like I did last year. That was mainly out of a not having a motor builder at the time and it being tough to travel with two 250s, two 450s,
Yeah.
different suspension, all that stuff as a privateer and one van. So kind of came to the conclusion that 450 is just the best way to go, just because one, it's cheaper, it's easier to be on a competitive bike in the 450 class because you can run pretty much a stock bike and still be competitive, clearly. And then last year, I got a lot more attention in the 450 class when I came into it. And obviously, I only raced 5 races and made 3 mains.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different starting out the season in the 450 class. Obviously, everybody's healthy and it's freaking stacked. So just a decision that I felt like was the best way to go, because then it allows me to drop down to either 250 coast for a fill-in ride or take a fill-in ride in the 450 class to an extent. So it kind of left all my options open. So that's kind of why I decided to go this route. So it's been good though. Obviously, we absolutely ate it at round 1. I don't know if you guys had seen any of that, but I got thrown over the face of a triple.
Oh, I missed that. I was there, but I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got thrown over the face of the triple at round 1, and that kind of ended my night, more or less. I tried going out for the LCQ, but there was just no way. My bars were all mangled, and
Okay.
my shoulder wasn't feeling it super great, so I haven't been able to ride until today, literally. I have not been able to ride since the season started, besides racing, just because I've been rehabbing the shoulder and everything. So today was the first day on the bike, which is good. And then other than that, just getting creative with our program. Got the YouTube popping off thanks to Clutch Media. He's jumping on board to help us with the vlogs, and then the whole Patreon thing's been going good too. Good way for fans to jump on board and support the privateer program. So it's going good.
That's nice. We were just talking about that for our show. So yeah, that's great. Go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah. You kind of we were already talking about kind of something I wanted to ask is, you know, hindsight's 2020. You know, you made that you said your reasons for choosing the 450 over the 250 at the beginning of the season. Now seeing that 250 class has kind of gotten a little more depleted than maybe expected, and seeing there's a lot of guys that are getting in higher positions than maybe they had expected. Does that kind of fill you up a little bit of like, man, I kind of wish I would have, or are you still happy with the challenge of the 450?
Yeah, 100%. Like looking at the field, and it's like the first coast was last year. Like 100%, I wish I was in the 250 class right now.
Right.
Main event dude every weekend probably, but I mean, it is what it is. I made my decision, and I kind of stick behind my decision. So yeah, you coulda, woulda, shoulda. I just didn't have things fall into place to make the 250 possible for me this year, at least as of right now. And to start off, and I knew I didn't want to come in and, you know, be on a privateer 250 at the very get-go, because then that takes me out of, you know, possibly getting any kind of fill-in ride for for 250s regardless, and then I couldn't do the other coast. So
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be definitely the tougher route, but I'm not scared of it because it's been pretty cool. Obviously, last year I was kind of in the spotlight with the 250 class, and then obviously going 450. Got a little bit of love just because I swapped classes. So to do full-on 450 and still keeping myself within the spotlight, I would have to say, has been pretty cool with my starts, with my jumping out front in qualifying. Usually always on Race Day Live, they talk about everything I had going on.
Yeah.
And obviously this past weekend, leading laps in the LCQ. We're making progress, slowly but surely making progress. So I'm not scared of my decision, and I stick behind it 100%.
Yeah, you talked about that 450 class being so stacked. I mean, there are a lot of good 450 riders not making it every week.
I mean, like, if you think about it, like looking back at the LCQ I just performed in, because I've been a little bit under the weather too, so I've been struggling with just like keeping a full LCQ together. Like, hit a little bit of a wall and didn't like fall off, but got tired enough to the point where I was making stupid mistakes that you can't afford with the people that you have behind you. So it's lucky that I actually am getting seat time now, so I'm starting to get over that, starting to feel better, shoulders feeling better, immune system, everything, body's feeling better. So it's coming around. But yeah, I mean, like that last LCQ, like you have Chiz. I mean, Chiz is gonna Chiz.
Of course.
You got Alex Martin, who's a podium 250 guy. You have Josh Hill, who's won a 450 Supercross.
That's ridiculous.
And then you have Justin Bogle taking the last transfer spot, who's a 250 champion.
Yeah. Hey,
it's pretty wild.
I had Starling in fantasy. I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. Cause I actually had Chiz, Amart, and Starling. So they were all in the LCQ.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is not going to go well for me tonight. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I think
hilarious.
I think making the main in the 450 class is probably going to be more impressive than a top 15 or maybe even top 10 in the lights class.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Well,
cause
that's
it's
kind of the
so
way I
hard
look at
right
it.
now.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I look at it too. Like, I had 3 top 10s last year. I had a 7th place, and nobody gave any nobody cared because like you said, like things got a little bit light, got a little bit thin, and then obviously I was getting 3rd, 4th places in heat races, and nobody even said good job to me, kind of deal. So, but I got a lot of attention when I jumped into the 450 class and immediately made main events. So like that's just where not only is it easier for privateer at this point, but the biggest thing I wanted to do was keep my options open to drop to either 250 coast if a factory fill-in ride was an opportunity. And then obviously being on a 450, it's a little bit easier to be competitive. But like you said, it's a stacked field right now.
Yeah.
So
well,
part of it.
When we get done here, I'm going to text you because I know there's a privateer team looking for somebody for East Coast. I got asked about it 2 nights ago, so I'll send you a text when we're done.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Yeah, what about these tracks though, man? There's been a lot of talk about like the whoops. Like A1 is usually like, all right, let's kind of work these guys back into racing, but there has been no forgiveness.
No, not at all, dude.
Yeah.
I've actually been I've talked to like Mitchell Harris and a couple other guys about it too. It's like I was even watching the amateurs ride at this weekend's race. And like Vince Freezy walked past me, and he's just like, "Man, they're just not giving us any love on these moves, huh?" And I'm like, "No, dude."
No.
So like, if all the top guys are kind of in the same boat of that they've been pretty gnarly, then clearly they're pretty gnarly. So
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but everybody's got to ride it. But yeah, it's not super fun, especially when you're dealing with shoulder injuries.
Oh no, dude, no, yeah. Look at AC, right? Because it was killing him too. So yeah, I watched like Race Day Live, and you're watching like the C group or the B group, and you're like, wow, they look like me trying to ride. Like it's
dude. Like I was watching the amateurs ride, and like obviously they got the top 3 that can get
Ryder
across.
D.
Everybody else just looked lost.
Yeah,
I know it blows my mind because if any of those guys were just like at a local ride day with any of us, we'd be like, oh my god, they're going so fast.
yeah.
And then you see them out there, and it's just like struggle bus. It's like it just really gives you perspective on how crazy you guys are, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So talk about your guys can go to kevinmoranz.com and check out everything he's got going on, but you've got some special sponsor packages you've been doing this year. A lot of privateers have been doing this, and talk about it.
Yeah, so I mean it's kind of cool to kind of see that I'm starting something, I guess, that people are trying to copy to an extent. But yeah, the biggest thing is just so kind of a little bit of background on me, I guess, is so like I did the whole public school route, didn't get ripped out of school to train like a lot of the kids in our industry right now. So graduated high school with a 4.13 GPA, and that's when I started taking my racing serious. So I went ahead and did 2 years of online college while starting my professional career, graduated with an associate's, and then from there just had to get really creative to fund my own program. Like My parents, neither of them like own their own business or anything like that. Just pretty normal family from Kansas. And, you know, they sacrificed more than I can even fathom to get me through my amateur career. But as soon as I went pro, and obviously, you know, how much traveling and expense that costs, they kind of looked at me and like, you know, like, okay, like if you want to do this, like we're getting ready to start helping your older brother go to college. And like, there's just no way that we're going to be able to afford this. So it required me to get very creative very quickly. So it helps that I can talk pretty well. I can, you know, make a conversation. I do think that like my social skills that I received from like high school and just doing more of a normal route has helped. But yeah, I just had to get creative because it's either I fund my own racing or I don't go racing. So the whole Patreon idea is obviously a really cool way for fans to get involved. So like you said, 2 ways to find it is kevinmoranz.com, hit the Join Moranz Racing tab. I'm actually getting ready to do a whole bunch of editing to all that stuff. But it's really easy to find, just kevinmoranz.com, or just go to my Instagram page and hit the link in my bio, and you can join the Moranz Mafia, because that's kind of what we got it named this year is Moranz Mafia, just to give it a little bit of a fun name.
I like it.
But you can hop on there and you can join it. You know, any level gets you straight into behind-the-scenes content on Moranz Racing on Instagram. So anybody who joins in, no matter the level, immediately gets entered for the behind-the-scenes content that you see during the races, because obviously Sater with Clutch Media is taking that over on race night. So you see extra stories, behind-the-scenes stuff, on top of like all the crazy videos that I kind of teaser out on my public page.
Yeah,
and, you know, say, oh, go here for more. You get to see all the cool, gnarly stuff.
Yeah, I got kind of mad at you one day. Like there was a video on Instagram that popped up, and then it just like ended. I was like, "What the hell, dude?"
Yeah.
I guess I gotta go. I need to go support.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they.
It's smart.
Josh Hill got me to watch one of his videos because they had him falling out of the sky at a skate park, and it was like, "Oh, Josh!" And then he like cut, and I'm like, "Dang, I gotta go watch that video."
Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty smart. I like it.
So it's getting creative with that. And then, so like anybody who joins at the intermediate tier and above gets entries for, we have a signed Oakley air brake goggle giveaway every single round that we do. We have a signed Cheruby's front number plate giveaway every single round that we do, thanks to Bike Graphics as well for that. So we'll give those 2 things away every single round as long as you're a Patreon at the intermediate tier and above. And then you get X amount of entries to each level that stack up month after month, because we're also giving away a race bike replica YCF pit bike to one of the Patreons at the end of the season. So if you jump on the intermediate level, it gets you 1 entry per month, obviously Supercross 5 months. So when we go to give that pit bike away, you're going to get 5 entries to win that pit bike. And then obviously as you go up tiers, you can get your name on my race bike, on my fender, on my fork tubes.
Yeah.
And the higher levels get you more entries for the weekly giveaways, the goggles and the number plate, and also gets you more giveaways for the pit bike. So it's a really cool program that gets people on board to help support a creative privateer who's doing a lot of really, I think, pretty cool things, but also gets you legitimate benefits, cool giveaways, and obviously the pit bike giveaway, extra content. There's a lot of things that go into it that make it pretty cool for somebody to just help a privateer out.
Yeah. And a lot of our listeners, we know Mathis and Pulp, they do so much for privateers. So I think most of our listeners really appreciate what you guys do and try to reach out and support, and that's really cool, because I need a pit bike, so I'm going to have to join the intermediate level.
Dude, jump on board. 100%.
Definitely,
I appreciate that.
I'm going to have to do that when we get done tonight, because I'm looking for a pit bike. But I like that, man. I think it's great. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. It gives fans, if they're kind of like, well, I want to help out, a little extra motivation.
Yeah, I think it's really smart, because it's pretty apparent. It's not a secret that there's not a lot of outside money coming into the sport.
No.
So to see you find a way to generate sponsorship and revenue that way, in an organic way that's good for the fans too, I think that's incredibly smart and very good foresight, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a lot of planning and just kind of figuring things out, and then getting to the point where, like, my biggest thing is like I had a good amount of, or I have a few local people that just want to help out, more or less. They don't necessarily have a company, which I do have a whole nother side of the Patreon for sponsors, like logos on jerseys, bikes, stuff like that. So if you just go to kevinmoranz.com, hit join Moranz Racing as well, you can find ways to join as a sponsor to actually get like marketing benefits. But the cool idea with the whole fan level Patreon is just finding people that don't necessarily have a business, don't really care about marketing anything, but have a little bit extra cash, whether it's $5 a month, $20 a month, $100 a month, to put towards a privateer that's doing some cool stuff with it, is pretty creative. Because, like, obviously we use all those expenses to help cover, like, flights, hotels, entry fees, parts, you know, fuel. And then obviously we have Stater on board, aka Clutch Media, who's grinding on our vlogs every single weekend. So, you know, all the Patreon stuff goes back into supporting all of our expenses, and then keeping Sater a part of the program too, because without Sater, the vlogs don't happen.
Yeah, that's a big deal these days, man. We were just talking about all that. We're trying to get our YouTube stuff going bigger, and when I get to go to a race, I try to do a vlog. So I understand, how important that is, man. It's really bitching to see you doing this stuff.
No, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So Scotty and I both will be at Glendale this weekend. We're definitely going to search you out. We'll get some content for our vlog. We'll do an interview with you Friday, or I assume you'll be there Friday.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we'll come find you, man, and we got to get you in the main this week.
Yeah, that's no joke, man. I mean, Triple Crown's gonna be intense. Your boy's never been the best qualifier, but he's got good starts.
Yeah.
So if we don't end up inside that top 18, we go to the LCQ, just grab another start and stay out front this time instead of throwing it away.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on. You got one more? Scotty?
Yeah, I had a different question, but that one actually led to me to a better question. So being the Triple Crown and those guys, you guys that are like fighting for like that last kind of LCQ spot, like, what's the buzz around like that kind of group? Is there a lot of guys like, man, do I even really want to? Is it really even worth the trip, or are all of y'all still like fully committed and going?
I mean, I'm fully committed and going. I've been that close. I know I'm obviously a good starter. So, like, dude, the opportunity is there for me to take it. So I can't shy away from that. I know that there's probably a solid amount of people that aren't within that group of, like, 10 that could be a main event, maybe not, maybe no. You know, like that close group that would probably be skeptical. But for me, it's all about, since the A1 crash, I have not been able to ride. So, like, I've been kind of racing myself back into shape to an extent. And then now I'm finally able to kind of get on the bike during the week. Like, the biggest thing for me is just to keep riding. Whether things go great or things don't go great, more experience, more seat time, I need to be racing. So, yeah, it definitely doesn't scare me.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, we're going to let you go, man. Appreciate you coming on tonight, and we will see you this weekend. And if you guys are, want us to help out, support a privateer, KevinMoranz.com. Get that Patreon stuff going. Join on.
Yeah, son, I appreciate it. We're dropping a new vlog here soon as well from this past weekend at A2. So Kevin Moranz on YouTube. Check it out. Appreciate you guys.
All right, Kevin. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, see you, bud. All right, that's Kevin Moranz. Let's take a commercial break, and we got to get Joseph Allen on.
Mr. Supercross.
Okay, that's what we're going to go with then. All right,
Cool,
here we go.
Cool.
All right, we are back. Appreciate you guys sticking with us. Next up, brought to you by X Brand Goggles. X Brand Goggles have grown into one of the top goggle companies for top privateers like Kyle Chisholm, Ben LeMay, Ryan Brees, as well as many of the GNCC guys like Craig DeLong. Choose X Brand with multiple lines to choose from, such as the EKSS, the GOX Flat Out, and the all-new Lucid with the Wave Latch quick-release lens system. You are sure to find a goggle for you at your price range there, Scotty. So, yeah, go hit it. Boy, I'm getting tongue-tied. Oof, not good. Hit me up, DarksideMX3 at AOL.com, or go to your local dealer and ask for X Brand, distributed through WPS. Tonight, X Brand Goggles brings us the guy they call Mr. Supercross from Feld, and he's also 2019 America's Got Talent contestant, Mr. Joseph Allen. What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Not a lot, man. So listen, I talked to you a little bit yesterday. Going into A1, I'll be honest, I didn't know who Joseph Allen was. I think I told you, I listened or I watched America's Got Talent a few years ago when Howard Stern was on, because I'm a big Stern, and then I kind of bailed on it. It's a good show, but I just kind of quit watching. But here I go. I go to A1, and I'm sitting up in the press box, and I'm up there with like Mathis and Jason Wygant, and I hear this voice, dude, coming over the PA that is more excited about the racing and the event than I have heard in a long time. And I'm like, who is that guy? And I'm looking at the monitor, and I'm like, I don't know who this dude is. And I had to, I got home and I researched you, and I was like, okay, this is cool, man. But Joseph, dude, I know you rode a little bit. I know we're from Texas. We're in East Texas. I think you grew up in Texas. Like, give us your background in this sport.
Yeah, man. I raced amateur for about 10 years. I saw the sport on TV, And immediately I told my dad, I was like, dude, I'm a Supercross racer. You know, none of us knew like really like how the sport worked or anything. So at 9 years old, I kid you not, I started a lawnmower company called Joe's Mows. And I was just going around cutting grass, you know, trying to like fund a career of racing dirt bikes. Dude, my first bike was a Honda trail bike. I didn't know there was a difference between the bikes with kickstands on the side and the bikes that like you raced with. And the first time I went to track, I was 9 years old. My dad helped me buy a bike. First time I go to the track, all I had was a helmet, a long sleeve shirt, some blue jeans, and some sneakers. And I went out there, man. And that's when I realized, right, exactly. And I saw people had goggles and stuff like that. So the next time I go to the track, we stopped at Family Dollar. I picked up some swimming goggles.
Oh my God!
Got to the track, tried wearing them. Couldn't put them over my helmet. So I put them under. They fogged up in like 2 turns. So it was a whole learning process. But I kid you not, that by the time I was 14, I did a long run in the super mini class. By the time I was 14, I was battling with Cooper Webb out at Three Palms during qualifiers. I ended up qualifying first at my qualifier when qualifying for Ponca. Broke my arm after that. Qualified for Loretta's, broke my left wrist, got a 4-inch plate, 8 screws put in there.
I got one of those too. Same wrist.
Yeah, man. It's almost like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Right? But as time went on, ended up like really finding some success because there was a field near my dad's house. And every day I was just training, watching YouTube videos and figuring out everything down to how to back brake tap, like how to get a good start, like figuring out like, you know, like body positioning, all that stuff. And raced until I was 19, won an arena cross race at 19, and then retired after that.
Wow. You're the guy that, as media, we don't believe you exist. Like, no, I mean, because we hear Feld say, you know, well, you got to market to the person that's flipping through the channels and just finds the sport and they don't know anything about it. We're like, nobody does that. People that like Supercross already like dirt bikes. Like, they know about it. Like, and we don't believe you exist, but you just proved that you randomly found it and just were like, I want to do that. And that's awesome.
And that's what I'm trying to add. That's what I think I'm able to add to the sport, is like understanding that's how I got pulled in, and that's why you hear the excitement you hear from me.
Yeah.
Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to inspire that next kid. I'm trying to inspire that person who it is their first time seeing the event. I'm trying to translate to them really how like spectacular and grand the sport is, because from where I saw it from a completely different perspective than the kid who got on a bike at 2-3 years old, is at the track, homeschooled. Like, it's all they've known. But for someone to see it, to see the jumps and then go to a track, right? And like trying to get brave just to hit a tabletop, and my dad's getting told, hey, do you know that kid's jumping a bike that's not meant to be doing that? You know, like, figuring out like, whoa, like there's so much to this sport. It caused me to fall in love with the sport in a different way than someone who falls in love with it via going to the track with their family and racing. I fell in love with it from the grand scale of like, whoa, you're telling me no one's going to tell me I can't jump this motorcycle from here to there? Like, I'm allowed to do that? Like, that was the craziest concept to me. And it was cool, like getting faster and then just pushing myself. I became obsessive over the sport, and it raised me.
It really makes me happy hearing that, man. Your passion, and man, I don't like, you know, we've all kind of grown up around it, me and Scotty here, and yeah, I hear that in your voice. I want to ask you about this. So you're new to announcing this year, and I literally texting with Kristen Beat last night, and she's like, dude, I'm getting beat up, you know, on social media because I was slow to respond or whatever. And, you know, and I've seen a few people like, who's this Joseph Allen guy? I don't know who he is. Why is he even on there? And like, I'm sure you've seen that, but what you just said is the reason why. And what you did for me, A1's the only round I've been to so far. We'll be in Glendale this weekend, but you instantly, like literally the first time I heard your voice, captured my attention. So I can't be the only one. And I think you're a good fit, man. And you know, I've heard people go like, well, he's not using the proper terminology. And I haven't heard that. I watch Race Day Live. I haven't caught you saying that, but I don't really care. I care that your passion is honest. You're not NBC hires so-and-so that works this other, he's already part of NBC. We're just going to bring this guy up. He doesn't know anything about the sport, but he can do the job.
Right.
No, you have this passion. And I felt that, dude. I feel it on TV. I felt it this last weekend.
That means so much to me, man.
Dude, when you were charging the track on that TTR, I was like, okay, he's not like, he's not going to blitz the whoops or anything, but he's having fun, and he is showing people. Just you're showing the what's the word I'm looking for, Scott? Like the base of the sport. Like, I don't know. It just the roots. It was so rad, dude. I think you're an awesome fit.
Wow. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that heavy because of course, like with me being new, there's going to be barriers I have to break, right? Like there's going to have to be the does he know what he's talking about barrier. There's going to have to be the who is this guy barrier.
Yeah.
There's also the difference of like, hey, it's like a black guy with an afro down there. It's not typically what you see. Like what's he doing here, barrier? Like there's a whole lot of different avenues where like I have to break down those walls in order to gain the trust of the fans.
Yeah.
But I can't expect that, especially knowing how much I took the sport to heart in school, right? Like growing up and then picking up the sport of motocross and racing arena cross and things like that. There comes a point when you tell your buddies and you tell your friends at school and they say, the response that we all hate, all you're doing is sitting down and twisting a throttle. It's like,
that's common.
Right. There's a whole community that we try and protect with this sport. And it's like, we don't typically like welcome, we like to protect what's ours.
Yes.
So
yes.
First there has to be, and that's why I'm taking specific risks with the sport, right? Like it was my idea to go out there, hop on a little TTR, little trail bike, very close to the bike I started off on.
Sure.
and going out and like saying like, hey, there might be a viewer who really wants to see the track from another perspective, but it's also a way for me to show, hey, like I'm not just a random guy here, like you said, which a lot of people probably already assume, right? They're just bringing in this guy who probably has content creator appeal or like whatever it may be, like also showing that credibility of like, if need be, like I can hop on a full scale supercross track and ride a trail bike around it to also show the side of like, oh no, he's actually like a part of the sport. So that's just going to come with time, like as long as I keep coming from the right place, people will notice that. And that's what I think people are noticing and appreciating. Because, man, I'm just having fun out there. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the best way I can help the sport, right? Like, they reached out and asked me, like, how can you help? And the fact that the sport that I fell in love with saw potential in me being able to help, dude, I'm riding it till the wheels fall off, man.
I love it. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, I think that the idea, like you said, to give a different perspective, you kind of did two things at once because – I think that was smart to because it's such a hard sport to because you can never going to keep the true diehard fan happy while getting putting it in a thing where it's going to capture the kids and the unknowledgeable fan.
Yeah, there's always the naysayer.
So you're showing the people that have never seen it before a cool perspective, but then you're also building street cred with the fans, like, oh, he knows how to ride, like they see that, like, okay, he's cool, I'm good with him now. Like that's a really smart movement. I didn't even realize, I don't get to catch all the qualifying stuff, but I didn't realize that happened. But I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm struggling with. That's what I'm struggling with as well, because all I think that needs to be done to help like get past that icebreaker, right? Like I feel like there needs to be a proper icebreaker between myself and the fan base, and that's something that I'm working on right now, is just trying to figure out like how to get more involved with like the Supercross Live social media as well, because like you said, like you didn't know that I had done something like that, where it's like maybe a fan on Instagram, maybe like people who are following the Supercross Live Instagram page could just be casual, hey, I've heard about the sport and I want to see more about it. And just that breakdown on the little TTR Yamaha 125 could be something where if I'm just scrolling through my social media, oh, wow, there's this person breaking down the track that I've only seen really on television clips or like short clips, broken down with the professional athletes riding it, but seeing like, a regular, slower paced, like breakdown of the track, not only would be a good icebreaker for people to go, oh, that's who this guy is. It's also something where more casual fans and people newer to the sport could appreciate it. So I'm just trying to look at it from all angles.
Yeah, I dig it.
One of our fans was saying that he really likes what you're doing, and as long as it means that Rutledge Wood doesn't come back, they're happy with it. So I think everybody thinks you're an improvement from that.
I'm not gonna say a lot. I don't really appreciate negativity towards anybody that's trying to do the stuff. Like I mean,
yeah, it's hard to
Lee
do.
Diffie, Dan Hubbard, all those guys get hate. Even our boy DB gets hate sometimes, and I don't like that because they're just doing a job. And I don't, but. I don't dig but you are better than Rutledge for sure. I mean, I really like what you're doing, as I've already said. I don't have a whole lot more time with you. I do want to talk just real quick about the America's Got Talent. Like this irritates me a little bit. This is the one thing I don't like about you, and I feel the same way. I feel the same way with Daniel Blair. I don't think it's fair that you're good on TV and that you can sing. It's same with Daniel. Do you know that Daniel sings?
Yeah. He has like a band or something.
Yeah,
like that, right?
The main event, like him and his brother, and Daniel's voice is rad, and he's the best, in my opinion. He's the best in the booth, and he's good
really
at his
good.
podcast, and he was a good writer. That's not fair that you have this much talent. And I went back, like I said, I Google searched you. I watched your AGT, the first, what do you call the
audition?
The audition, where you got the golden buzzer. And like, I'm in tears, dude. I'm in tears. I don't want to cry. I'm a man. But you made me cry. And like, dude, your songs and the song about your mom was so like touching and so awesome. But talk about that experience briefly. And then the last thing I want to know is how did you get it? How did Feld get you involved after America's Got Talent?
Cool. Yeah. So the whole America's Got Talent experience was definitely life-changing. Like it was something that, it took about 5 years for me to finally get my chance to kind of do what I did on the show. It was something that I always dreamed of, having as a reality. And when it did become a reality, man, it changed a lot. It opened up a lot of doors. And in terms of those doors that it opened, I was actually touring my latest album. And I was doing a show in Gainesville, Florida. And Sean Brennan, he runs the public relations for Supercross, and his daughter was actually at one of my shows, and she had noticed that I was out at the Atlanta Supercross race, and she was like, "Hey, like I saw you were out watching the Atlanta Supercross. My dad, he helps out the sport a lot. I should get you guys connected." And immediately when Sean Brennan had reached out on social media, he saw that Jet Lawrence, RJ Hampshire, Pierce Brown, like a lot of the 250 guys were following me on social media.
Okay.
So he starts wondering, he's like, what's going on here? And that's when I'm like, yeah, man, like I raced amateur for a lot of years. Like I'm a big fan of the sport, so I'm very involved and hands-on. And then I ended up showing them that like Jet Lawrence would like message me like during the outdoors, like before the first round, like I would be out at the race. And Jet would be texting me, telling me like, yo, I'm going for a championship this year. Like, I feel ready. And they were like, whoa, like you already get like inside scoop stuff. They initially were going to reach out about me singing the national anthem at one of the races. And it ended up becoming, hey, bud, like we don't want you really to sing the national anthem. We want to see if we can get you more involved. And the Race Day Live team was the team that I got involved with.
That's awesome, dude. I love Sean Brennan. Yeah, he takes care of us all the time. I introduced myself to you as Darkside because that was sort of my nickname, but Sean is making me change it for press conferences to my real name. So I got a little beef with Sean right now on that. But
2022 is a real transformative year for you, Darkside.
Oh yeah, man, yeah.
Hair's gone, name's gone. I mean,
you don't know, but I have long hair because I'm an '80s, hairband kind of guy.
I like that.
But my hair's getting cut at the night before Minneapolis. At Steve Mathis PRMX podcast. They're going to cut it live on stage. I'm getting and in exchange for me cutting my hair, I'm getting a 2022 YZ250. So
yeah, woe is him.
Yeah. What? Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So between that and Sean not allowing me to be Darkside on the press conferences anymore, it's I'm like I don't even know who I am anymore, Joseph. Yeah. But dude, hey,
funny.
we got to get to Justin Starling. I really wish I had scheduled a little more time with you. It's just a tight schedule tonight. But I've got your number, and I will text you Friday when we get to Glendale. Maybe if you're around the stadium at all, maybe we could say hi and take a picture together.
Let's do it. Sounds like a plan.
Awesome, dude. I am, like I said, I honestly am very excited that you're a part of the sport and very impressed with what you've been doing, man. I don't. If you hear anything negative from the message boards, ignore that crap, because those people don't mean crap. You're killing it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And if you guys have any tips, just shoot me texts and stuff to let me know how I could, better serve the sport.
Will do, Joseph. Thanks, man, for answering on Instagram and coming on tonight.
All righty. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, buddy. See ya. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Joseph Allen, dude. Dude, I'm impressed with him.
His you can tell his spirit and his vibe is spot on. So.
Yeah, okay, let's say he didn't race as a youth. Let's say none of that happened. Doesn't matter. If if he has this much passion for the sport, then he's part of the sport. He belongs. He doesn't have to. You don't have to have all the knowledge, all the history, all the perfect terminology. If you love the sport enough that you want to learn and be involved with it, I welcome you.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, the little bit I've seen from him, because like I said, I don't get to see all the qualifying, especially on the West Coast because it starts so late. But the little bit I've seen of him, he's getting a completely different vibe from the riders than I've ever seen any other guy get. Like he's the way he's getting them to talk about stuff and he's getting them to laugh, and he seems like he's kind of one of those contagious spirit vibes where like. You're gonna even that interview he's laughing and stuff. He thought you can't not be in a good mood around him, and he's bringing a side out of these guys that you don't get very often.
That's exactly it. And that's like I honestly was just in the press box. Like I think I was setting my laptop up and I heard him and it caught my attention. I was like, this dude's on fire.
This is different,
man. And it didn't feel fake.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. Right as one of the guests was saying, I like his energy. Seems authentic.
Yeah, I'm into the guy. I think he's awesome.
Yep.
I hope Feld keeps him around. I have more I want to say about him, but
yeah, I definitely he's definitely going to be on my list of guys to try to talk to at some point this weekend.
Go check out his YouTube channel. I don't remember it's just Joseph Allen, but he's got some videos of him playing tic-tac-toe with like Mookie and doing like real
I heard
quick
about
little
that.
things.
Yeah.
And then he's got a bunch of his songs, his videos up there. So he's a cool dude. I appreciate him coming on. Quick break. We'll be right back with Justin Starling. All right, let's do an introduction and get into it. Here we go. Next up, brought to you by Works Connection. Since the inception of Works Connection in 1989, Eric Phipp's goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public, with products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start Device, the Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. It's hard to imagine you not going to WorksConnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Tonight, Works Connection brings us another privateer, one of my favorite riders in the paddock, even though he lost me some points this weekend in fantasy, but we won't talk about that. Justin Starling.
Yeah, stoked to be here, huh? Yeah, I didn't make it happen last weekend. That's for sure. There's no excuse.
No, man, we were just talking to Moranz a little bit ago, and like the field is. I mean, when you're going into an LCQ with Alex Martin, Justin Bogle, Kyle Chisholm, there's not a whole lot of options there. Not a lot of spots, man. I mean, you're every bit as talented as those guys, but it is only 3 of the 5 or 6 guys that probably could get in are going to get in.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I look at it in the sense of I won the LCQ at A1.
Yep.
And then Oakland, I think I went around the first turn in 10th, and got 3rd. And then, San Diego's on the ground in the start, so it's kind of over at that point. But yeah, last weekend I just did not execute. It kind of seemed like I was riding the track instead of racing it, and it's just not acceptable, so. It showed. I think I started 9th, and I think I finished there as well. It just didn't go, the way it should. But that's on me. I know my starts and my whoops were definitely the biggest issue I had over the weekend, and we even made some big changes to get better starts. And I think I was overly confident in it, and I just kind of, I don't know, I'd almost just say I grenaded a little bit. And
like mentally, you mean?
Yeah, maybe. Just just not executing. I don't know. It's weird. I left there just kind of like I knew what I needed to fix. So I left there knowing what I had to do to be better. But it was more like, man, why did I let that happen? And like what got me to that point. But we got 13 more to go, so you can't be too upset about it. There's
Right.
plenty more racing. That's why we raced 17 times and not just once. So
Yeah.
not an ideal weekend. I got some messages from some people that picked me, and I was like, you know what? I didn't show up there to be done at 8:30 either. So it is what it is.
Dude, I still can't believe people send like negative, like, I'm bummed that my fantasy team didn't do well, but I'm not going to text you, or even if I didn't know you, like send you a message, be like, dude, you suck. Like doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I've never understood it. I mean, for me, when people do that, I'm just like, yeah, cool, good. Like, I'm actually happy that happened. Like, that actually kind of makes me feel better. I'm almost like, yeah, good. Like, now my night's actually pretty good that your night's so ruined over a game,
Yeah. Let me know the next time you pick me, too. Yeah. Let me know ahead of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it's, what's crazy is I almost put a tweet out just being like, dude, I feel so good tonight that, like, I would pick me. Like, that's how, like, good I felt going into the night. So, like, it was just weird that I just didn't execute. It's no excuse. It was on me. I just didn't do my job.
Yeah, it kind of brings me to what I was going to talk about. It's kind of cool how this series has kind of developed in the last year or two, where now you're kind of seeing like the top 10 is your kind of your factory guys, and they're kind of doing their own. That's the battle for the championship. But I feel like there's kind of like a sub championship between like y'all in that 15 to 25 range, to where like. There's a lot going on there, and y'all are kind of fighting for a different thing. So I really like that has kind of developed into like its own competition, and I just kind of wanted your insight on that group and kind of the competitiveness of that group and kind of what it's like being with those guys.
Yeah, it seems like we're always kind of around the same people. I'm fully aware I'm not going in to win a championship. It's more or less just do my best at this point. It's not anything where I go out there and I'm like, oh, I got to finish here. I got to do this. I got to do that. I know what my abilities are. So it's really just do the best I can. As long as I leave there doing the best I can, I'm happy, but yeah, it seems like we're always around the same people. No matter what it is. This weekend I seem to be around people I'm not normally around. Because I'm usually can fight my way to the front, but it's kind of crazy. It's like they're like a little bug in your ear, like they're just like you're always around these same type of people. But no, I try to go into it as a main event guy, and not think that I'm surrounded by this guy or this guy and I should be here. Like, oh well, you know what, I finished behind this guy, this is about normal for me. Like, I try not to think like that.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's, in my opinion, I hate bringing this stuff up, but like, dude, if you're around Chiz, you're usually doing pretty good, like that's kind of just like the way it is. But like, it starts to become really annoying, like I'll be honest with you, like I'm so tired of that same thing, like, oh, we're gonna get Chiz, and it's like, dude, he's good. He's a racer, like he knows how to do it. It's like me in the 250 class. I felt like I always made it, I always figured it out. But he's got it. He's really good at what he does, but man, he's annoying.
Yeah, well, that's funny.
Like,
you and Cade and A-Ray all have that.
Yeah, I
we
love
like the
guy. He's so nice, but like I had on my phone after the races, is gonna chiz, and like he tweeted it, and I was like, dude, like stop it.
He's bought
like
into it.
Yeah, and it's like, man, hey, he does his job. You can't knock it, right? But yeah, it seems like we're always around the same people, but I don't look at it as like, we're on like our own thing. We're all trying to do the same thing, and, that's be the best we can be for 20 minutes. And, obviously the whole goal is to get to that point of being able to do the 20. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of, I just look at it in like go out and do my best, and, where the cards lie, it's where we lie. But man, missing 2 main events in a row, I'm pretty pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard though, because like, I mean, I was watching the LCQ, and like you're watching a guy like Bogle. Like Bogle had to like push. He had to kind of like ride over his comfort zone just to get into fourth. Like,
right.
It's like, and when that LCQ you won, you got the start and you kind of checked out. And Chiz has kind of done that the last 2. Like, it's tough, man. Like props for like that. Like that's a tough group, bro. It's so gnarly.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, when you think about it, like besides Chiz having a career number, you know, then you got Hill, who's won race, or I think won a race, but you know, he's won a race. That's huge, you know. Then you got Bogle, who's a champion, you know, and then you got Alex Morin, who's won races, you know. So like when you look at that, it's like, holy cow, you know, like this is I mean, I knew going into the LCQ it's gonna be stacked, but like I can beat these guys, you know. So yeah, it's wild to think, but as soon as you think about that stuff when you're on the gate, it's over. You know, you might as well not even line up for the race. But yeah, it's they're all beatable. I mean, I've beat all of them before, so there's no reason why I can't again. You know.
Yeah. So you saw the question on Twitter. I'll ask you about, because for those that don't have Twitter, probably saw in the race you got into Adam, right? And Adam Insnap, I believe it was. But you guys are cool. You guys texted each other. Everything's cool. It wasn't like the Jason Anderson, Kenny Roxon situation. It was just an accident.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah.
Like straight up, like he passed me aggressive, but I'm like, I'm totally cool with aggressive racing.
Sure.
You know, like he didn't even touch me. Like it was good. It was a good pass that he put on me, and he was riding excellent. He had me handled in the loop, so I was just losing time there. And yeah, I was like kind of just like following him around, and because honestly, I was like I said, I was just kind of like grenading in my head. Like I couldn't figure out what I was doing, and I couldn't really put a lap together. Like it was like I'd make a mistake, then I'd lose that gap, then I'd catch it back, and then I'd lose it in the whoops. You know, just kind of like that. And he wasn't doing that single table 3-3-3, but I had been doing it like since press day, so like I had it pretty dialed. And I got really close to him when I went to single table in, and I had to jump pretty far right. And then I cased the first triple, but I still was able to triple, but I was still behind him. And I don't know if this was like, if maybe he did something a different rhythm, but I'm pretty sure he went 2 single out. And I just honestly like wasn't really, like it was just on me. Like I wasn't paying enough attention, and I like kind of had to jump to the right a little bit more, because I started like getting back in line, you know, to set up for the next corner. And I just remember having to jump to the right, and I landed so far on the inside, throwing into that corner, and I landed pretty deep too. Like I didn't downside the landing very well, and I came up like hot, you know, like I was sliding into the corner. And,
right.
And I had like started turning, but I think I just didn't turn fast enough. Like I think I kind of hung up, like, oh shit, you know, like that was really close.
Yeah.
And I felt him hit my rear tire, and it messed me up a little bit, and I doubled and looked back, and he was on the ground, and I was like, dude, like we're in like 9th and 10th, you know, like I'm not trying to take you out for $10, dude. Like I felt really bad, and like, you know, especially like the whole, you know, thing that happened in Oakland with him, and then
Brees,
I was feeling bad about it. So I didn't say anything to him when he came off the track, because he looked pretty mad, and I didn't want there to be an altercation, you know, because obviously like you know, tempers fly, you know, and I didn't know if he was mad, you know, whatever. And then I listened to Steve's review, and I heard him say like, yeah, Starling took me out, you know, and he mentioned a couple times, and I was like, as soon as I heard that, I messaged him, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like that was on me. I didn't mean to do it. It was like, if you want to owe me one, like I said that to him later, but I was like, if you want to owe me one, like I completely understand, you know, like, and he was like, no, dude, like you're good. Like I understand. We saw it on the tape. Like you look like you're a little bit out of control. I was like, dog, I was. Like, it wasn't good. I felt like shit about it, honestly, because like I'm not out there to take people down, you know, like, that's not my thing. And
not unless it's the last spot.
If we were going for 4th, like dude, like I probably would have went for it, but that's not the case, you know. And even like Politelli got me actually like on the last lap, and like his move was pretty aggressive, and we had to roll the big double across the start.
Yeah, I saw that.
And and like he came off the track, and he's like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dog, that was sick. Like that was a textbook pass, you know, like you set me up, and I had nothing to do. Like there was nothing I could do. Like that was badass, you know. And I always say, like, I'm all for like aggressive racing, just like don't break my bike.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like,
please
dude. Don't put us. Yeah, just don't put us on the ground, and don't break my bike. You know, if we can race aggressively, and Politelli was aggressive and clean, you know, and Adam was aggressive and clean, I was out of control and dirty. Like, and I felt terrible about it. Like genuinely, I jumped in, and I was just like, damn it, dude. And I jumped the triple and like put my hand up, and I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to do that. I would never, I like Adam, I would never do that for a 9th place in an LCQ. You know, a 9th place in a heat race, yes. 9th place or 4th place in an LCQ, yes. But not 9th in an LCQ with like 2 laps to go. Like we're out. It's over.
That's the right attitude, man. I like.
And I probably cost me, you know, like $200. You know, like realistically from this position we're in to, you know, I got 9th, I got 1,200, so he probably made 1,000. You know, so I probably cost him $200. So that's not my intention. You know, in me doing that, I made $10 more. You know,
Right, exactly.
It just wasn't. You know, no, God, no, not at all. You know, we're out here trying to make a living. So doing that wasn't cool. I just felt bad about it, and as soon as I saw that tweet, I was like, dude, here's what we talked. It's good.
Cool.
And I'm not buying his merch, you know, but
It's such a thing now. It's so funny. All right, so this is kind of a.
I wish Anderson would have bought rocks and stuff. That would have been funny.
Oh, it would be, yeah. I don't think
just do it without saying anything. just do it, you know, like just as a haha. But yeah,
that'd be good.
All right, so this one's kind of a change of pace, and I've honestly it's kind of random, but it's stuck with me for so long, and I've kind of always wanted to ask you this. So you've probably heard about this before, and people ask it all the time, but
don't ask about the show. I
can't.
No, we've done it on here, and he hates it.
Okay.
I was just about to stop you. Yeah. We've talked so much about. Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm new. I'm new to this. I've never heard it. I've always wanted to ask it, but I'll leave it alone.
No, I'll give you a 20-second rundown. Show's scripted, completely fake. Reality TV is not real. I did it when I was 12 years old, 13 years old. I hear about it every week.
I know.
I don't mind hearing about it, but we're in Supercross. Let's talk about Supercross.
Okay, I got you. It's just that one memory of her, like your dad was like prepping the track, and she just that lady was like having a complete mental breakdown. Like that image is always stuck in my head, and it's always made me laugh.
Totally fake.
Yeah,
I actually just watched it. I think they're all on Hulu right now. So if you guys want to know,
I'm sorry. I've always wanted, and then I had some fans kind of bring it up too, some listeners. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The show. Yeah, no, it's all good. The show's super fake. I mean, it's all a script, and you got to act it out 10 times until they pick the right one. We can't say some words because they're offensive, and
I figured, but it just
so on and so forth. But my mom did a survey. We somehow got picked. We ended up with a tree hugging lady, and
perfect opposite.
Yeah, and she loved the earth, but then she wanted to bulldoze down or take the tractor and ruin or take down where I got hurt because I was hurt in the show. But it made no sense because she likes the earth, and that ruins. I don't know. It was a whole lot of things that didn't make sense. But it was an experience for sure. I'm thinking about running wife swap kit or something at some point this year on a butt patch.
Yeah, you need to get involved. You got to get involved with the Mathis and Kiefer wife swap thing they're doing. They're doing
hey, every time I heard them talking about that, I just was like, man, no one said anything about me being on the show.
Yeah, maybe because I think
I'm really surprised no one has.
I think Steve knows you don't like talking about it. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't know. It has nothing to do. I don't mind. I'll sit here and have a 30-minute conversation, but I mean, we're 4 rounds into Supercross.
I know. It's just, it's always been stuck in my head, and ever since I started doing this show, I've been I don't know. It's just one of those things I always.
Hey, if I have a bad weekend this week, and I'm gonna blame it on the fact that you brought up wife swap.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take the hate. I'll be in Glendale, so you can give me some hate, man. I'll take
go back and
it's all good.
The first time he was on, because I did bring it up.
Okay.
The first time I ever had him on, I didn't know him very well. Didn't know it was a sore subject, and he talked about it a little bit. So
it's not. It's not a sore subject at all. I just heard it so.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's like something you can only repeat so many times until you're like, dude, have you not heard it on this interview or this interview or this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure when people listen to me, they want to hear something else. But yeah, I mean, I get it brought up all the time, and it happens almost every weekend. People come by oh, we see it, it's on TV now, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Are you guys fans of the sport or
we're
what's
just wife swap fans?
Same thing with Hackley though. He still gets the Disney Channel questions all the time. Hackley, he did that Disney Channel thing.
Yeah,
when something like that goes mainstream, it's hard to not.
I asked Sean about that the last time he was on. So a couple more, real quick before we let you go. Our buddy Troy, Team Troy Dog.
Wait, that's that quick of an interview? It's been 5 minutes.
No, it's been longer than that, man. Unfortunately, listen, did you not listen to the beginning of the show?
No, I've been busy as heck today.
So, I kind of am really knocking the ball down to about 20 minutes tonight because I literally did not sleep last night. I went and saw Tool in Dallas. I got home at 2 a.m. I had to listen to Pulp instead of going to sleep because I have to get ready for the wrap-up show tomorrow. So I'm kind of just.
And that was a long show too. It was only 6 hours.
6 hours, dude. Why the one night? I literally haven't slept since.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I'm kind of compacting everything tonight, man. I apologize.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
But I do want to hear about Troy Dog helping you out, our Verb Moto buddy, Troy Benjamin. Troy Dog, you're the star dog. He always, I think I'm Dark Dog. I don't even know. But I know he's been helping you out a little bit and definitely trying to promote, and Troy's a good dude.
Yeah, Troy's been awesome. I kept seeing him post about everything in the squad, and I was like, dude, like, I'm all for it. Like, why am I not a part of this?
Yeah.
You know? And
Ash Dog and Hard Dog. And
yeah, and like, I'm good friends with Hard Dog, so I was like, man, like, I want to be a part of this. Like, I think it'd be cool. And he's like, and like, I think he thought at first I was like asking for money, and I was like, dude, like, I just want to be a part of it. You know, like, I enjoy dirt bikes, and you guys enjoy dirt bikes. Like, let's just be dirt bike squad. You know, like, come on, like, let's just hang out. And
it's like when we were kids, right? We're the bicycle club. We're the
exactly. So I just hit him up about it, and I was able to become part of the squad. And it's been a pretty hectic last couple of weeks, but he honestly kind of like saved my beginning of my season with helping me out with trying to raise some money for my suspension. That UPS, we're still dealing with that.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that.
Yeah, so we're still dealing with that. But yeah, he was able to put some stuff together and be able to help me out. And man, he's been awesome. He's been really cool. He's kind of like, honestly, it's been cool because it's like he kind of keeps my spirits up a lot, which has been really cool. Like, I feel bad because like my phone's been going pretty nuts this like the last couple of weeks. So I haven't like talked to him as much as I want to. But man, I'm like kind of like a one-man show out here. Like, luckily my mechanic takes my race bike during the week, but like, man, during the week I'm just like grinding, you know, the whole time. So, but yeah, he's been awesome. He's been really cool. He's like I said, he's just like a dude that just like no matter what, there's positivity and like just how he treats you, you know.
Yep.
And
oh, absolutely.
That's been super cool and super fun. And I've been running the sticker on my helmet and all that, so it's been pretty sweet. I wanted to run it a little bit bigger on the side, but I can't because of FXR and 6D. But he's a good dude. He's just a really genuine guy, and I've been stoked to be a part of him or be a part of his squad. You know, like it's been sweet.
Yeah, I like the guy. I don't know how genuine he is yet because he told me he was going to send me some pineapple merch like a month ago or 2 months ago or maybe 3 months ago, and he's like,
this is all out of his pocket. You gotta remember. I know.
I'm just busting balls, man.
Yeah,
I'm busting balls, but I just know I haven't. No
I
pineapple merch has shown up.
Much. I've got like a T-shirt and a hoodie. Like that's all I've gotten so far. But like I get the dude spending his own money to just represent something he's not selling. You know, like so he's a rad dude. I've been stoked on him. He's honestly like. He's something. This might I don't be blowing him right now, but like he's almost something like the sport kind of needs, you know. Like he's just that happy-go-lucky dude that just like
loves it,
has just a good vibe at all times, you know. And when we're in racing, man, tensions can run super high and all that. And like, dude, when I lost my suspension, I was like stressing, and I literally texted him and I was like, hey, I need help. And he went to town. Like he just went for it and was like, dude, we're going to figure this out. And it's been cool. I mean, we were able to raise some decent money, and, you know, SKDA was actually able to help, you know, fund the other side of it. But man, it's like, if you go two people that have been amazing, SKDA, Sam, Morton over there and Troy Dog, dude, it's like two amazing dudes. It's been awesome.
Love it. Scotty, you had one more?
Yeah, I had one. This one's about Supercross, I promise. So,
Supercross swap.
Yeah, like exactly. So,
if you were going to swap moms with any other Supercross rider, who would it be?
Yeah, no, but I kind of wanted to know, like, had some fans asking about it too. Like, what you kind of feel about what you like most about the gas, and then like, what are you kind of most particular setup wise about?
You know, it's kind of a funny question. Like everyone asked me, like, well, I switched from a KTM to a gas this year, and simply it's because my team in Germany, they were on Suzuki. I was always riding something different here, and it was always kind of a hard transition when I went to that bike. So actually last year I got a KTM because they went to KTM, and so I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'll get on KTM too. And luckily I've got a really good relationship with everyone at AEO Power Sports, so it was a really easy thing to do, and I used their suspension as well. And yeah, I went to KTM, and then we thought we were going to race the German Supercross and the Dutch stuff this year, or I guess last year now. And they were like, hey, we got some support from gas, so we're switching over. And I was like, cool, so will I, you know. And yeah, I wouldn't really say it's anything to do with I mean, I love the Austrian brand. I like the chassis. So it's an easy thing for me, and on the same chassis as last year ultimately. So it was really not fighting too much on trying to find something new and do something. But I mean, at the end of the day, like if they told me they were going to Honda next year, like you'd see me on a Honda.
Okay.
You know, like that.
Yeah,
I
right.
just do my best. Yeah, I just do my best to do whatever they're doing. But also it'd be pretty difficult ultimately in the same, because I still want to stay with the AEO guys no matter what I do. So it'd be a little tough in that sense, maybe just doing their suspension or something. But yeah, I mean, the bike's really good. I've been working a little bit more on my chassis this year, trying to get it a little bit more comfortable for me. But I think the biggest thing for me is probably my handlebar setup. I actually, for the first year, I went down to the Evo bars, which is like the no crossbar.
Yeah.
So that's something new for me because I usually hate that type of bar. And last year I was able to get a bar from Pro Taper called the Suzuki Race Team. And Plessinger was using it on his last year on Yamaha. And the bar always looked comfortable with him. And I'm like, oh, I should try it, you know? So I contacted Valade over there, and I got the bar and I tried it, and I was like, wow, this thing's really good. But I always in my mind was thinking I'd go back to the twin wall type bar, you know, the crossbar, you know, type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I
Liked it, huh?
I really like this bar. So, and now they sell the bar. It's called Race Team Bend. It's really good. But yeah, I would say, yeah, probably the biggest thing that I'm picky with, it's not really so much the motorcycle, but I'd say it's my bars. And yeah, I've been kind of stuck on that handlebar, and it's been really good.
Did you ever try the Fusion?
I have. I ran the Fusion last year with, I didn't mean to say twin wall. It's just like when you think,
Yeah.
you know, like that, it's always like Renthal stuff because they're so big.
So
but yeah, I ran the SX race last year in the Fusion bend. I tried the SX race also in the Evo bend and didn't like it, but I loved it in the Fusion.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also have the same Race Team bend in a Fusion, and I still went back to the Evo. It's,
Interesting. All right.
yeah, it's kind of strange to me. I really didn't think I'd ever like that bar in Supercross. Like outdoors, it's okay. I like it, but because it has a lot of flex.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think I'd like it in Supercross. But I'm gonna tell you, like that bar is pretty unbelievable, and it's wide too. Like I think it's 810. And usually the Pro Tapers come at 800, and I would still cut those.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
So, yeah, I'm running wider than normal and all that. And man, it's the bar. They nailed it on that bar. I think it's amazing. I kind of want to try the new bar though. I think it's like the CFT or something like that.
Yeah, the carbon one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested. They just don't have it in the Race Team bin, so I'm like, you know, like how am I gonna do that? But nah, man, those guys they do a lot for me, and we got something coming up for A3. We're gonna do something a little cool with those guys, and
sweet.
Our bike's gonna be pretty cool. You guys are gonna like it there.
I love it. Well, Justin Starling, JSR Motorsports, appreciate you coming on tonight. We'll see you in Glendale, man. We fly out Friday morning if the winter storm doesn't screw us over.
Yeah, hopefully my day doesn't end at like 5.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Dude, if you're not doing anything Friday night, Minneapolis. I'm thinking Minneapolis. You got to come out to
Minneapolis. Tickets are sold out, huh?
I don't know. Hit up Steve.
Because I want to go to that.
Yeah, I think
there's only like 30 or so left last week.
Yeah, there's Joshua Reese.
Weren't they selling pretty quick though when everything got like when it was like they were talking about it on the show?
Yeah, he said they were selling quick, but just hit them
I feel
up,
like
maybe.
if you walk up there, they're not gonna let you in.
It depends on what the capacity of the
Maybe I need to call it. Well, I'll see Steve that week of that race. So I'm going to go mountain bike with him on my way up there. So I'm going to do Monday morning on my way to Minneapolis. I'm going to stop at his place and do some mountain biking that day.
Cool. Yeah, hit him up, man. I bet he'll. I mean, if he can, he'll get you in.
Well, I want to go. I think it'd be cool because my bike will be done before I get there. With tires and everything, it's just be like -30 or something.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, so I mean, if I can go do something without sitting in the hotel, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me know, man, and hit up Steve and appreciate you coming on, dude. We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, guys.
All right, see you, buddy.
See ya.
Yep. All right, thanks to Justin Starling for coming on. We got to get to Julien Perrier.
All right, let's try it.
All right, here we go. Next up, brought to you by our title sponsor, Cherubies USA. You guys already know Cherubies is the #1 plastic company in the business. For decades, Cherubies USA has been the leader in motoplastic and accessories with products that fit perfect, look great, and last. Cherubies has what you need. Visit CherubysUSA.com and support our title sponsor, and always let them know the MotoXpod show sent you. Tonight, Cherubies brings us Mr. Julien Perrier, from the owner of Team PRMX. What's up, Julien?
Oh, not too much. How about you guys?
We're just sitting here talking a little bit of moto, and honestly, Julien, I'm just trying to stay awake. It's been a long. I didn't get to sleep last night. Like literally, didn't get to sleep last night. So, yeah, just hanging in there.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Didn't sleep much either.
Yeah. So this year, man, you've got coming into the season, Justin Hill was scheduled to be part of the team. You got Brandon Ray, who got his first main event ever. That was pretty awesome. He was on last week. And Rod Bell, your team, you've had some injuries, some issues, but just talk about the season and the team as a whole so far.
Yeah, the season is it is what it is with injuries and stuff. It's something that, it's a sport where so many variables that can happen and stuff. So injuries are part of it. Started really kind of rough at A1 when, Hunter Sales got hurt also. And Justin got hurt also. So
yeah.
We had B-Ray on the line, and it's first ever first ever Supercross. Really nervous and whatnot. So it's kind of a rough start, honestly. Like in the past several years, I hadn't had that much issues with injuries and whatnot. So definitely something to build on and learn from it. I also had some not personal issues and stuff. My wife got a bit sick with something that she's dealing with that's non-COVID related.
Okay.
So I had to deal with that also at the beginning of the season. She just flew out home this morning, like at 2 a.m. I had to wake up, get everything ready, and now I have my kid with me full time. So taking care of the baby, taking care of the team, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and hopefully we can get back to normal. Yeah, get back to normal pretty soon, and just wish her to be all good as soon as possible. So
absolutely,
health and family first. So
yeah, prayers for your wife, man. Hopefully, she'll. I don't know what the issue is, but I hope she recovers and feels better soon, man. Because dealing with family stuff is it's really hard. Like we had this conversation before. Like I was talking to Eli Tomac actually, and people were like, "Oh, he started out rough last year, and I wonder what's going on." I'm like, we don't know what's going on in his personal life. Well, all these riders, these team managers, they're human. Like it's like if I was you, Julien, it would be very, very difficult for me to go to the race this weekend and be what I need to be because I'd be worried about my wife, because that's human nature generally. But you have to juggle this, and it's not easy. And I don't think the fans and the media always consider that everybody out there is human, and we don't really know what's going on in their life.
Yeah, 100%. It's we're not allowed to make any mistakes. We're not allowed to not respond to anyone from on our Instagram posts. We're like, I see it more and more as the team grows. Like when you're small and stuff, it's not that no one cares, but people don't really pay attention as much. And now that, I'm trying to grow and be better and whatnot, like people like, "Oh, yeah, you weren't at the race last weekend." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I had to take care of my family." And it's like, "Oh, are you going to be back at the next round?" I'm like, "Possibly." I don't know. Like the family comes first. My wife comes first. It's not, that's my business and my passion is the race team. But like if the mother of my child is not feeling well, I'm going to do everything I can to take care of her before that, which everything else in my life passed second to my race team other than my family,
Of course. Yeah, dude. Well, I commend you for that. I mean, being a single dad, you were talking about that a little while ago off air, and you just mentioned it. That's a job, like a full-time gig in itself. I'm a single mom, a single dad. Not that you're actually single, but you're doing it by yourself. That's a lot.
My wife has always been there.
Yeah.
Like since day one, and she takes care of our boy like gold and stuff. But now it's my time to, step up and make sure that everyone's okay. And that's why she flew back to Canada and get some treatments and whatnot. We don't know what's going on exactly right now, but as being a Canadian, we need to go back home and deal with our own insurances and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
She landed. She's feeling fine. So
good.
Yeah, it's we'll know in a few days on that part of things. But other than that, we've been trying to do our best with everything we got here. So it's been more fun since A1. We're trying to gain some steam. Rod Bell showed up to the third round with us and did good. B-Ray made a main, so it's like all of a sudden everything's better. So try to continue on that role of having fun at the races, and whatever happens.
Yeah, it kind of counterbalance the other stuff. The Brandon Ray stuff, man. Like, I didn't know much about him really until last week when I started researching him, and I think I texted you, but I like that kid a lot. Like, I like his personality. I like his interest, like his passion, and I hope he continues to improve.
Yeah, Brendan's a unique person for sure. Like, he's a good kid, and he works hard. Didn't have everything he needed, I would say, not in a wrong way, but I think with the proper equipment, he could have been maybe another level now. But I think, at his age, he's still young. He's just 18. He's gonna continue opening some eyes, and hopefully we can support him as long as we can to develop and to bring him to another level on his personal side and racing side. And it's just fun to watch. And every weekend, he's so pumped to go to the races. If it's Supercross, barn cross, anything racing, he's just like, yeah, I'm pumped to be racing.
Right.
Also,
awesome, love it.
Yeah, we had B-Ray on last week, and he's super humble. And what I've seen from Rod Bell, he's a super down-to-earth, humble guy. And then we also had Justin on, and he kind of came back after, figuring life out, air quotations, so to speak. So it seems like there's kind of these real down-to-earth guys that you have. And I was just kind of curious on what kind of those kind of things do you look for in a rider, and kind of what characteristics do you kind of look for when you're choosing guys to be on your team?
We look at a bunch of things. Well, I look at a bunch of things. It's just like, at some point, I just want people that want it as much as I do, in a different area. I want to do good. I want to do as best as I can possibly can. I'm no near perfect. I make mistakes. No one's perfect, but I like to work with people that really want it at the same time, that are down to earth, not like big heads, and that really want to put in the grind. Like, we're not a structure where we're not PC or SAR or anything yet.
Yeah, you go. I like that. Yeah.
So, but no, it's fun to work with people that want to work with us at the same time. So it's like it needs to be. I always said it needs to be as much as possible a win for me and a win for them. Everyone needs to gain something out of the relationship and the race team and stuff. So we're trying to do it as a whole, like a real team effort.
Yeah,
I like that.
So I haven't really had a chance to talk to you about, have you had any communication with Justin Hill? Any updates on what his plans might be? Is he coming back, or do you even know?
At this time, I don't have information more than what we know from the AC separation on his shoulder.
Yeah,
that happened a few weeks ago. We went to the hospital. I went with him, and I try my best to be as good as I can with everyone, including Justin. I like Justin. We had a good off season. Freak accident. Every day I wish I could change something, and you can't really change it, as the sport is full of surprise, even like at the IS level or IS teams and stuff. Like today, not to name anyone, we were at State Fair, and a factory bike through the whoops chain just snapped.
Oh,
so no one got hurt.
Yeah,
but it's just to say that no one's protected to a bike failure or part failure or a rider being, unsafe or something. So, I wish we can talk more about it right now, but I don't have more information to give you than,
Yeah, that's fair.
Still recovering from it, and I think he will need surgery. But like I said, I don't know at this point. So.
Okay, that's fair. East Coast. I think you're planning on doing East Coast. Do you know how that's going to go? Do you know? I think you're maybe short a guy right now. I'm not positive, but what's the plan for East Coast?
Shorter guys, yeah. Injuries hit us hard this year,
Yeah.
so that's why we got Rod Bell coming out on the West. Rod Bell's going to do some 450 East.
Okay,
well, not
cool.
some. He's going to do all of them. We went to ride a little bit today, and we're going to slowly get him comfortable on the 450. But right now, the main goal is for him to finish the two last round on the 250 and on the West, like as strong as possible with B-Ray. For the East, Hunter Sales should be back for the East. We got a good news yesterday that, his doctor said that just do some PT and get the shoulder strong enough, and he could race and get it strong every weekend. So he's going to race. Julien Benek, my Canadian rider, will race the East Coast on the 250 also.
Okay.
Depending on what's going on and whatnot, I probably will need another 450 guy, but we're not sure yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. It's like you said, the injuries and a team. You're like a privateer team, man. It's so hard to, almost everybody that's racing has some kind of deal already, and this kind of late into the season, it's tough to find those options. Yeah.
And you can't be like, oh, yeah, ditch your sponsors and come
Right.
ride for us, Like some guys are really, really involved financially and whatnot. So
Yeah.
it's like it's not the ideal situation, but, I get to go racing every weekend, and it's still, a blessing to do that. So trying to be super positive about it, and I think the best is yet to come. But yeah, I might throw B-Ray on the 450 for like a Daytona style track or something. So we'll see.
Okay.
We have a few options to try to do the best with the situation,
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as a team owner, when it comes to branding and your sponsorship, what are like some of the biggest factors that you consider? Like what do you think of the most when it comes to that kind of stuff?
What do you mean, like marketing wise, or
Yeah,
like
what-
rider, or
well,
how
like
do
kind
I
of-
approach sponsors, or
Yeah, like kind of like what factors go into your decisions when it comes to branding or who you sponsor with and stuff?
How much money will you give me?
Yeah, I guess that's
what's that? How much money? What?
I said, how much money will you give me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I go with a lot with social media these days. TV time
Yep.
every weekend, every Sunday. I had up the TV time so I can have a spreadsheet with my TV time and whatnot. I don't want to say too much to give all my tricks, but it's been going pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have good support and trying to grow every year. Partzilla has been a awesome partnership so far, and we're signed up for next year also, and a third optional year. And it's all about trying to present yourself the way you are, trying to bring something to the table. Because again, with the sponsor, it's the same thing. It needs to be good for them and good for us. So it needs to be a business decision where they want to put that amount of money, and I try to start with what they want to do and go from there and see if, year in, year out, you try to grow and give more in return, and they give more on the pocket.
Yeah, it makes sense, man.
It's just branding on the semi, like I upgraded the semi again this year. So trying to be as close as possible to everyone else in the pits, while the bigger structures, if you want to say. Stuff like that. Our social media is, we're not, we don't have like a ton of following. We have like almost 9,000 right now, but it's to grow it where, I can push on it more, but we try to do a good job on doing like videos, reels, posting, giving our sponsors some content to share every weekend, and it all comes down to repeat business, as I come from the selling marketing point in my life where that's what I did before. How I made money was my repeat business.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm
that's-
trying to repeat business with my sponsors.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense, man. Well, Julien, you've always, since I've met you, I think I was 2018 or so, you've been good to us, man. You always have time for us and hook us up with your riders, and I always enjoy being around your pit, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And like I said, we're a bunch of normal guys,
Yep.
and we just want to be better and trying to better our program and, better equipment, better everything. Not to say that our equipment is not good, but always searching for better.
Of course. I mean, even the factory teams are doing that. So, yeah. That's
exactly. It's a daily process.
Of course. Well, Julien, man, again, means a lot to us that you've been a part of the show over the years by coming on and giving us your riders. And we look forward to seeing you this weekend, man. We'll both be in Glendale, and we're definitely going to swing by and say hi as usual.
Yeah, stop by, grab some new T-shirts. And yours from last year is probably outdated, so get some new one.
Yeah, it's a little faded. All right, we'll come see you, man. Thank you, Julien.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have
All
a good
right.
evening.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
That's Julien Perrier. Yeah, I didn't know their social media following is that low, like on their team. You guys hit them up on Instagram. It's the team PRMX. You see, keep up with their riders doing. Of course, Cade was on that team last year, but Brandon Ray, Justin Hill, Rod Bell.
Yeah,
give them a follow, man. I mean, we need those guys in the pits. It's a big deal. We need them to survive. It's important that these privateer teams are around. You guys all know that, to keep these riders, the privateer riders, funded.
Yeah.
All right,
for sure.
one more. We'll be right back, and we'll talk a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay, sweet. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, our next guest of the night is going to be brought to you by Fly Racing. Fly Racing has been developing and innovating its gear line since 1998. Fly Racing is the only choice if you want the best. Just ask their current riders, Zach Osborne. Yeah, Zacho's not exactly current right now, but we're still listening to Zacho. RJ Hampshire, Damon Bradshaw, Justin Brayton, Carson Mumford, and many more. Check out your local dealership and ask for Fly Racing, as well as the endless list of products offered by WPS. And I believe Fly Racing also supports our next guest, Mr. Brad West. What's up, dude?
How we doing?
Doing good, man. So I'm going to be real honest with you. I didn't know a lot about you until A1 and our boys Nick and Trent were just raving about you.
Yeah, we kind of fly low. We don't have a lot of runs on the board over here, apart from Cal Classic, so not many people know the name so far.
Yeah, I saw you, obviously, I guess this last weekend was your first Supercross Futures. How'd that go for you? How do you feel about it? I mean, I think you got fourth, if I'm not mistaken, or fifth but you qualified like third, I believe.
Yeah, I qualified second.
Okay.
I didn't have the best run, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't feeling the greatest. I had a pretty bad start and crashed.
You sucked.
Yeah. I mean, my qualifying was decent. Like, it could have been better, but I didn't put myself up there.
Yeah, you wheelied coming out of the gate. I was watching you.
Yeah, I was so annoyed because I got my practice start for side lap, like, perfect.
Yeah.
And then I done that, and I was like, oh, God.
Ask Darksiders ever seen a plane with a kangaroo on it.
Yeah.
No, but he obviously knows. I want a kangaroo bad. I want to see one. Like I want to hold one. I want one in the house. No, I don't want to get beat up by one, Scotty. No. Yeah, kangaroos are rad, man. So give me a little bit of your background, man. Obviously, you're from Queensland, Australia, place I want to visit very badly. But give me our listeners some of your background, like your history of riding.
So I started riding a Pee-wee 50 when I was probably 4.
Yeah.
Been riding ever since. I just recently made the move off Cowie. Been on it since 65. It's like my second year. And onto Yamaha now, which I've really gelled with a lot. Really like it. And now, I mean, I recently had a win at Cal Classic. That was pretty good. That was a good one for me. First race on the Yamaha, really, which was good.
Yeah, what brought the move? Like, how did the move from Australia to the States come about? Was there support? Was there, was it just a decision you made because you wanted to ride Supercross? What was that about?
Just for a future over here in general. You can only get so far in Australia Australia with racing. So we kind of try to set ourselves up over here, and I think I first came over to the States when I was on a 50 for Loretta's.
Oh, wow.
And I was horrible on a 50, so that didn't really show much.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and just went from there, and now Yamaha and going good and into Supercross right now.
Yeah, so I think I saw, I don't remember if it was social or maybe your website. You're trying to do Loretta's again?
Yep. So
Yeah.
my only A race I've done so far, my first A race, which I was like pretty proud that I won it, was Cal Classic.
Okay. So the road
yeah.
to Loretta's has begun then.
Yeah, it's begun.
How many more Supercross futures are you planning on doing?
I've been invited to a lot of them.
Yeah.
If anyone knows us in our family, we don't really have a set plan. We just kind of go with the flow.
Winging it.
Yeah. I know we're doing Glendale this weekend, and
cool.
just seeing how it goes.
Yeah, we'll definitely come say hi then. Scotty and I will both be there. So, what you got, Scotty?
Yeah. So, you get over here and you get to the stadium.
You go to In-N-Out Burger.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's my
That's
turn.
what me and Nick and Trent. Oh yeah, I interrupt you a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all good. But actually, I had that question in a little bit, so we'll get to that.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so you walk into the stadium. You're America. Everything's new. Just kind of, you see the track. Just take us through that moment.
So walking to the stadium, we got there Friday. Just chilling out, set up, walking around. There was basically no one in the pit so far, and just went out to the track, and it was actually really good. And at the moment, when we went out there, it was pretty dry, so I was like, I didn't know how the weekend was going to play out, whether it was be overwatered or if it would be slick. And I was eyeing out the whoops because there was supposed to be 2 sets of whoops, and there was only one. So I was like, it was pretty good. I was contemplating. I didn't know what was happening with that wall jump lane. I was like, oof. Didn't know what was going to happen.
Gotta huck it.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't really nervous. I kind of tried to get the jitters out at practicing and qualifying. Get the crashes out of the way, which didn't really work the best because I crashed in the main. But yeah, I mean, the track was pretty good. I've been riding Supercross for a while now. Got a track back at home, so that's really helped me a lot. And yeah, I was just pumped to race.
Was it kind of like a we're here, I made it kind of feeling?
Yeah, more like a I'm here, we made it. Time to show them what Aussie got.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, well, like I said, Nick and Trent spoke very highly of you, and of course, we motored around in the in your Sprinter van, so that was cool. Appreciative. I really like those guys, man. They're good. They're good mates.
Good mates.
I can't say it with an accent, but
that sounded kind of weird coming from you.
well, whatever. Yeah.
So Trent actually had a question. He said he wanted me to ask you who's better at chess between him and yourself.
Who?
Trent Marr.
Trent from the Moto Limited show.
I haven't played him. I have not played him. So I've been slowly getting better at chess, playing with my mechanic over here, Laird. And at the start, I was beating him by far, and now he's starting to catch up on me.
Yeah, I've never played chess, man. I tried to read a bunch of chess for dummies type stuff, trying to learn and understand.
Couldn't even get that.
Just couldn't wrap my brain around it, dude. I think I'd have to have somebody show me multiple times. It's complicated.
It's just knowing which strategy you're going to use against whatever they're doing. I mean, but you have to memorize all that stuff. It's like memorizing
you gotta be smart.
Yeah.
Like a Rubik's Cube or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't do that either, dude. Sorry.
We'll just stick to asking interviews and podcasts.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I'm kind of a dummy apparently there, Brad. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Glendale though. That's cool. So, what is it about now? How long have you been in the States?
So I recently got back from a wrist injury when I was here last. And I went over for Christmas time and only started riding 2 days before Christmas.
Okay.
And then, so I've been in the States for coming up to 2 weeks now. And yeah, just been here that long on the bike that long, so hasn't really been that long on the bike. Which,
yeah.
which is good and bad at the same time.
Do you like the U.S. though? Do you like being over here? Like, I mean, do you like the way of life? It's kind of fast paced out there in SoCal.
Yeah, it's good. I live in the middle of nowhere at home, so it's a bit of a change.
Yeah, I bet.
And the plane flight is so long, it's horrible.
Oh man, yeah, I felt bad for those guys when they flew back. Like Nick and Trent have talked about me coming down there. At some point if things ever get back to normal and Supercross series gets back up, and I really want to go, but being on a flight that long doesn't. I'll do it, but it sounds terrible.
Oh, it's only good if they have like the new movies on there, and if they don't, it's like movies dated back like a year or two ago.
Right. Yeah, you got to bring your laptop and load that thing up or something. But man, so where do you train? Is it just you do it on your own?
So I recently joined with Bradley Taft, so I'm with the whole Taft crew.
Yeah.
It's like bouncing from track to track. The tracks kind of vary because they don't really post them till the day when they're open. But I've been going to State Fair and Fox and just bouncing around a bit. And it's been fun. I had fun.
That's good.
Trying to blitz these whoops and attack everything.
Yeah, no thank you on the whoops. I'm out.
Yeah. Everyone's so scared of whoops, dude.
Dude, at this point, I'm an older guy, man. I'm 46. I'm kind of scared of all of it at this point. Yeah, go ahead, Scotty.
Yeah, so you mentioned In-N-Out Burger earlier. That's one of my questions was what American delicacy, for lack of a better word, were you most looking forward to trying?
So I've got all that out of the way when I first came over here. So I haven't had any of that like Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out or anything like that since I've been here this time.
Athlete.
I did really like the In-N-Out milkshakes. They were pretty good.
They are good. Yeah, I think me and Nick and Trent, when I was out there for like 5 days, I think we went 3 or 4 times probably to In-N-Out. Yeah, we enjoyed our food, but we're not athletes either. We're not trying to be a professional racer, so we can eat whatever the hell we want. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of wore themselves out going there about 4 or 5 times.
I bet. Last question I have for you really is like the kids in your class, like, the age group, like Ryder D and those other kids in that age area. Have you become friends with any of them? Do you have a chance to like visit and talk shop and hang out at all?
I'm basically friends with everyone right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's hard to name them because I don't want to miss out on anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I basically chat to everyone. It's been pretty good. They finally, a lot of people started adding me back and noticing me more after Cal Classic and Loretta's from previous.
Yeah, I can imagine as you do better, they start taking notice. I like that though. I'm pretty good, pretty tight with the DeFrancisco family, and something I talked about with him for years is like, him and like Jet Reynolds are buddies, and him and Carson Mumford are buddies, and like I like that you guys can be friends and then go race and be competitive and then be friends again. Like I'm not the guy that likes drama. Like I like that you guys are cool together and can hang out and go, whatever, go to the beach or whatever you want to do, and then go race and have fun together, man. I think that's cool. I hope I hope you guys can continue to do that as the racing gets more and more serious in your pro career.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun doing it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
And so Trent posted back on the comments, he said lies, I smoked him before I left in the chest thing.
I honestly can't remember it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Actually, we did have one game. Yeah, I was not playing good then, actually.
Yeah. Joe, that's good though. You had a bad performance. You buried it. You moved on.
Forgot the bad performance.
Yeah, there you go. You got to use that in your Supercross racing.
That's how I roll. Yeah, if I lose, I forget all. That never happened.
Yeah, no. Yeah, of course it never. I don't lose.
Dig it. Well, Brad, man, I'm looking forward to meeting you this weekend, dude. We'll be there Friday morning, so we'll be at the stadium all day Friday and Saturday. We're definitely going to come find you and say hi. Is there a particular pit you'll be pitting out of, or is it your own?
Basically my own, and SimCity, Simi Valley, next to them, and just normally with Gavin Towers and all that. So we'll just be out there vibing.
Well, we're gonna come say hi, and
our producer's son's gonna be in that class too. So
Doc Smith is my. Well, I don't want to call him the producer anymore. He's a co-host, but TJ Smith, our other co-host, his son Doc is going to be racing with you out there. So
we'll be invested.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. That'd be sick.
It'll be fun, man. Well, we'll see you this weekend, dude.
Okay, I'll see you there. Have a good rest of your show.
Yeah, man. Thank you, buddy. Good talking to you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right, Sam. Brad Smith. Let me make sure I do the proper hang up this time.
That's Brad West.
Oh, I said Brad Smith. Brad Smith was a buddy of mine that worked for Tucker Rocky. Brad West, yes.
No, I did not get to make it to his thing, but
he
was a
away.
friend of the show. Thoughts and prayers out to that family.
Yeah,
for sure. I grew up with him. He was my t-ball coach and stuff. So
yeah, Brad West, man. He's he's a kid, obviously coming up, and a lot of talent. Like you could see the talent in the qualifying. Excuse me.
Yeah,
he didn't ride well in the main, but you could see the talent in the qualifying. The kid's gonna be something special.
So when does is Deegan not going to do any of these futures? Like, I mean,
not this year. I think.
So he's riding these Supercross trucks against Craig, and then they're putting him as like the rabbit, but he's not going to do the. I don't know.
They're not ready for him to go pro yet.
I guess. Well, that's not really pro, is it?
I mean, it's to get your points to go pro.
Oh,
so to race Supercross. He's not going to race Supercross next year, so there's no reason to race the futures this year. He doesn't need his points.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this thing up. We really didn't talk about A2 at all. We did talk about Tool a bunch, so I'd rather talk about Tool. Sorry. The rough riding, though, let's jump on that just real fast. The Jason Anderson, Ken Roxon situation. Jason, clipped Kenny last week and took his front wheel out coming out of the whoops. How do you feel about this week in particular? Was it dirty or was it racing?
Honestly, it kind of drives me. I mean, I know that's a focal point and that's what the media is going to talk about. And I get that. And I think it's worth talking about because is the biggest changing point of the race. And it was, there's a lot of drama packed to it, but there's no pleasing everybody. Either they don't hit each other. We're like, man, this racing's boring. They just sit in a formation line and they don't ever pass each other and they don't ride like they used to. Back in the 90s, they used to kick each other and all this stuff. So you hear that, and then they start riding dirty, and everybody's like, oh, everybody's riding dirty. Why we got to clean this up? So what do you want? I think it's good. We're talking about a point series how close everything was. Those points, guys, the points is tighter than it's ever been at this point. And so, dude, they're racing like that.
Right.
That sand line went into the other line. Kenny maybe could have backed off. Maybe Anderson could have tried to maybe change his line a little bit. I agree with RV's point last night that his handlebar was in front.
Yeah.
That kind of gives him the rite of
Otherwise, he
passage.
went down.
Yeah. So I think it's good. I mean, obviously, I don't want to see guys getting straight T-boned off the track. I don't think that, but
no.
I mean, we're racing. This is the pinnacle of our sport, and there's so many guys that have a chance. It's got to be that way. I like the aggressive riding. I think it makes the sport interesting. I think it adds parity to the championship so that we don't get into round 16 and there's two guys within 20 points and then everybody else is 60 points back. I think it's going to add parity in the long run. So I'm all for it. I think it's great.
I don't think it was dirty. It was aggressive. I think it looked way worse than it probably actually was, just because the way he went flying through the air and all that. And the lines did come together. And yeah, I mean, you're going for a pass. He, in my opinion, he had a wheel on him. He had the pass made.
I mean, in those lines,
not make the pass.
That line just went straight into each other. It was kind of just a racing incident.
I feel like it was a racing incident. I'm fine with it. There's been a couple others that I wasn't as fine with, but
we had one of our listeners. Number one rule of racing: always cover the inside.
Exactly. That was everybody, Weimer and RV last night were like, why did he leave the inside open?
Yeah. I just think it's kind of funny that everybody complains about one thing and then they get it and then they start complaining about that. I just think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think that's it. We're going to wrap this thing up. I still have I don't care. I still got about 3 hours to go on wrap up stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a long night. Appreciate everybody listening. Again, YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Julien reached out. They do have a PRMX YouTube channel. Let me see if I can open this up and get the actual. It's probably just PMR YouTube/PRMX. Yeah, PRMX on YouTube. Go subscribe to their channel too after you subscribe to ours, and check out all the stuff that they've been doing. They have some vlogs up there, so there is some social media. We just gotta help them share it and talk about it. So go check it out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, MotoXpod Show, Patreon if you feel the need, and hit up Kevin Moranz on his Patreon.
Yeah.
Try to support him as a privateer. Same with Justin Starling. Anything you guys can do, help us out, help those privateers out.
Yeah, no, I
Support the show.
appreciate our staple YouTube listener guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all kind of make this a lot more fun. It makes it. I love doing the live shows because I kind of gives me another thing to do while we're watching the show. I like talking to you guys, and whenever y'all are out riding or doing these things, because we're all guys that ride and stuff, we appreciate you guys, just, hey, check out, you ever listen to Pulp, well, go check out MotoXpod show. I was kind of doing that this weekend while I was riding. Some people are looking for more stuff to listen to. So our diehard guys, don't be scared to name drop us. We'd appreciate it a lot. So
Yep. That's it. Share our Instagrams, share our Twitter, share our Facebook.
Algorithms.
Thank you to Acherebees USA, Racetech, Fly Racing, X-Brand Goggles, Works Connection, Torque One Racing, R Jerky. Again, man, if you guys are just looking for a good snack, eat eatrjerky.com, promo code MotoXpod21. I have to place another order because I am almost out. I ate a whole bunch during. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about my Niners, so that was. If you're a football fan. If you care about football, there was really good games this weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, my Niners lost.
Every game, the wild card weekend was kind of hit or miss, but after that, the games have been phenomenal.
Yeah, I had a bunch of buddies like, dude, some were kind of busting on me, but others were like, how upset are you? And I'm like, I'm really not, because I had no expectations coming into the playoffs. So we made it farther than I thought we would. We played really well, and we beat the Cowboys, which is the only thing I really care about.
God, no.
So anyway, but I ate a bunch of eatrjerky.com's R-Jerky while I ate the hot and spicy, what do they call it? I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head. Sizzling hot. I ate a bunch of the sizzling hot. My mouth was on fire. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say that's it's not like a novelty thing where they're just trying to brand their thing, and so it's actually really good jerky.
Yeah, I've got one package of the 7 Deuce black pepper beef brisket left, so I got to place an order. Also, though, Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID. If you guys look for somebody to letter your jersey, do your graphics, hit those guys up, man. They their email is graphics@bermlords.com. Get a quote. They do great work. They don't have to put as many graphics as I had, so don't let Steve and Kiefer give me shit, scare you away. They do killer work. Shock Socks, Williams Motor Works, which I meant to talk to Julian about them. Jesse Williams at Williams Motor Works does the engines for PRMX. Extreme Colors Helmet Painting, Blood Lubricants, Power Band, True Fusion. And again, if we have these discount codes, especially for like Blood Lubricants and R Jerky and Racetech, use those codes, and that supports us too. That helps the sponsors. They'll come back next year. They'll continue to give us more money so that we can keep going to these races and doing these shows. That's it. We're out. Thanks.